Lately, a lot of teenagers, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and even 40-year-olds came over to me and asked me the same exact question when it came to Shmiras Hanayim. They asked me, Moishain, seriously, Hashem really cares what I see and what I do about my imagination and what I do at home, behind closed doors? Who really cares? Let me enjoy myself, let me enjoy life. And I didn't really have what to answer, because we're talking to a generation which they're so far from understanding what the truth behind everything is. So that's why I want to step back a moment and not talk about Yiddishkeit yet, not talk about Halach or Hashem yet. Let's first step back and understand how a person's day plays out and how they act throughout the day, and understand the real understanding of what Shmiras Hanayim is really all about. A person wakes up in the morning, regardless what time it is, if he wakes up early or later, his imagination starts rushing. His mind works so fast. No person can sit down for 2 minutes and think about the same exact thing for 2 minutes straight. Even for 30 seconds he can't think straight, because the brain, the mind, rushes all over the place so fast with no stop. Just imagine going to the African jungles and you see a monkey, not a regular monkey, a drunk monkey jumping from branch to branch, one place to another place, all over the place, and then he falls down, he jumps back up. That's what our mind is throughout the day. From the moment we wake up until the second we go to sleep. It rushes all over the place. Now, what does the mind enjoy thinking of? Enjoyment. Imagination, things which we can fulfill our emptiness with. That's what the mind enjoys thinking of. We all have this emptiness which we have to fill up. Some people fill it up with good things. When they work, they're happy with their job. Or with different things, they find some happiness within themselves. And some people use their imagination to fulfill their happiness. Now we have to ask ourselves a simple question. Do we want to live in an imaginary world with our imagination controlling us? Or do we want to be able to live in a peaceful world, in a peaceful life, in a peaceful day, with us controlling our imagination? Do we want to be on a dog leash, controlled by our imagination? Or do we want to be peaceful and have our imagination controlled by us? Sometimes a person can sit in the park, or even on the couch in his house, and he sees something, and that image will take him to a total different place. He could be sitting in the park, pushing his child on the swing, enjoying himself, but that woman passes by, and he sees something, and before he knows it, he's in Paris with his imagination. Who wants to live out of his body? His body is in the 18th Avenue Park, and his imagination is in the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Who wants that? Now, for sure, a person who is drunk, a person who has this drunk monkey mind in himself, can't think to himself what's worth better. He wants to enjoy himself momentarily. He wants the physical and emotional enjoyment right now, regardless if it's going to take him bad places or it's going to take him nowhere. He wants it right now. And the reason why he wants it right now is because he never had experience of having a true enjoyment. Because he never had this fulfillment of within himself. So a person can't think straight at that moment, but we have to sit back and relax and think for a moment, like, seriously, do I want to live a fake fiction world with nonsense all over the place? Or do I want to live my own world, myself, in what I am? So that's the understanding of what Shmiras Hanayim is all about. Next time when someone comes over to me, or someone comes over to you and asks you this question, who really cares? What do you mean, who really cares? You should care. You should care about yourself. Ask yourself, do you want to have a peaceful joy life? Or do you want to have a messed up life with momentarily enjoyment? So that's the understanding of Shmiras Hanayim. Now, yes, we have a loving Hashem, which wants the best for us. He cares about us. He wants us to be a happy person. So that's why he gave us the Torah. He gave us our Chacham to explain what the Torah is all about. And he gave us tools and ideas how to become that better person within yourself. So when Hashem talks about Shmirat, it's for your good. Hashem doesn't get hurt if you do something wrong. You hurt yourself. You put yourself in your own Gehenna. Hashem's not here to punish you. You punish yourself by doing these things. So that's why when we start off in the morning with this wild imagination and things, that's why in Yiddishkeit we start off Hashem, I love you so much for giving me back my neshama. Now some people forget. They just say the words or they don't say the words. We have to think what we're saying. If we think about what we're saying, then that will relax our brain of this drunk monkey, will turn into a regular monkey. Yes, our mind is still going to rush, but not as wild. And we will at least set boundaries in our mind and tell ourselves, I want to live a peaceful life today. I want to live in an enjoyment life today with Hashem. Because Hashem gave me my neshama. Now I want to be close to Hashem. And throughout the day, we should ask Hashem to be closer to Him. Please Hashem, I want to be closer to you. I want to talk to you. I want to enjoy myself with you. Because that's a true enjoyment. The materialistic enjoyment is materialistic. You use it and you use it until it gets used up. When it comes to spiritual enjoyment, it does not get used up. You have different views and different understandings of what the spiritual enjoyment is, and you keep on growing in it and keep on enjoying it every day at a different level. And that's why Hashem said, yes, I want you to enjoy yourself. So please don't mess it up for yourself. Now, a lot of people say that we should get a filter on the phone and all that. Different methods how to fight this crazy world out there. And it's a very good band-aid, but it still does not deal with the actual problem. When someone has a problem, someone has an issue, we have to deal with the source of the problem, the roots of the problem. Well, if you read my book, you'll see every issue, every problem which a person can go through, you have to go back to the root of it, understand what the problem is, and then deal with the actual problem, and then it'll be so much easier to deal with the other problems around. It's like an umbrella. You open an umbrella, at least you know what the source of where I am won't rain into, even though it's still raining outside, but I'm protecting myself with the root of the problem. Here, I don't want to get wet, so I put in an umbrella. So how do I deal with the crazy world out there? The answer is, Reishes Chachma Yiras Hashem. Seichel Toiv L'chol Hashem. The roots of wisdom, of Chachma, is Yiras Hashem. What does that mean? Not Yiras HaFriend. Don't be scared of friends out there. Don't be controlled by other people telling you how to act and what to do. We have to live for ourselves and for Hashem. And when we live for ourselves and for Hashem, then it will be so much easier to deal with ourselves and with Hashem. We don't have to deal with all the other nonsense around us. Now back to the problem. What's the actual problem of today's society with immorality? The answer is, we are unhappy with ourselves. We have this gap of missing spirituality, missing self-love, missing something which misses from within ourselves. And to fulfill that hole is so much easier to fill up with fiction, materialistic things, nonsense, because that's a true momentarily enjoyment. So putting on a band-aid, putting on a filter, won't help. It was Erev Shabbos HaGadol this year. I got a terrible cut on my finger. A very bad cut. I ran to my uncle who was an EMT. He told me you got to go to the emergency room. But in the meantime, I had a band-aid on it. Blood was rushing. I couldn't stop the blood. I took painkillers, but all these things were only band-aids for the moment to reduce my pain, reduce the whole big thing. But putting on stitches is what actually dealt with the problem. We have to put our stitches within ourselves to deal with the problem. And then you can have the filters, you can have different methods how to deal with those problems. But if you don't put on these stitches, if you don't fulfill yourself with what you need in a spiritual understanding and a true enjoyment, not just materialistic things, then we won't have to have this filter all day. Yes, the filter is very important, but the filter is going to prevent like new things not to come into our life. Now, another problem is people are scared to ask. People are scared to ask, and that builds up questions in a person, and they never have the opportunity to discuss it with other people, so they just build up questions and questions, and then they get lost in the swamp of questions, and then that's it, they're lost. And their only answer to all their problems is fiction, imagination, using their imagination to fulfill their enjoyment, because they have no one to talk to. And it's so important. We see over and over again throughout the Torah how important it is to ask questions. You know, when I was a bacher, I went to the Tolner Rebbe. I went into him. He asked me, interesting question. I was prepared to answer him back about my learning, about my Yiddishkeit and all that. No, he asked me, what do you enjoy doing throughout the day? I was shocked by that question. I was like, me? Enjoyment? Like, that's not a part of Judaism. I thought Judaism is learning and avoiding Hashem. He asked me, what do you enjoy doing throughout the day? I was shocked by that question. I didn't have what to answer. Because I don't know what I enjoy doing. I never knew what I wanted to enjoy doing because we never had the opportunity to ask questions. And those who did ask questions were shut down. At the end, we figured out what I enjoy doing, and he told me I should get some, and I enjoyed life afterwards. You know? And then, very interestingly, I passed by once the Tolner Rebbe's shul, the old shul he had, and the window was open. It was, I think, Malka time. And I just wanted to listen to what he has to say. And it was such a powerful speech he said there. He asked a question. We see Echad Chochem, Echad Rasha, Shein Dei Elishal Tam. He asked seriously, is there such a thing of a person who is a Shein Dei Elishal, regardless of what age you are? Every child asks questions. Tati, why this, why that? Mommy, how come this? All children ask questions. Why, what, where, when? So why does the Balagada talk about the She'eni Dei Elishal? He doesn't know what to ask. So he said an interesting story. He said this 4-year-old had his privilege to go with his father Sunday morning to Shachris. And he's walking with his father to Shachris, and on the way, he's a child, he asks, Tati, how come the shul is so far? The father tells him, Moishain, shh, no. You don't talk before davening. So, okay, I won't talk before davening. So he can't ask, he can't talk to his father before davening. So he understands, he can't talk before davening. He comes into shul, he's already in the middle of davening. He asks his father another question. Tati, how come that person down there put on his talis after most people? So again, Moishain, quiet, we don't talk in the middle of davening. Okay, no problem. And then later on the way home from davening, he asked, Tati, how come those trees, it was actually maple trees, how come they're peeling and different colors on it? He said, Moishain, stupid questions. That's something normal. Okay, so you can't ask stupid questions. So now this Moishain is trying to figure, what could I ask now? So he's thinking to himself, he said, oh, Tati, now it's a smart question, okay? It's after davening, it's not in the middle of davening, and it's not a stupid question. Tati, how come when this guy was collecting for tzedakah, everybody else was giving tzedakah, and you made a face that you don't have, and I know you have money? It's a smart question. And the father yells at him, Moishain, chutzpah, don't be wise. The father basically closed his mouth, and he has no other opportunity to ask any other questions, because this child, all his questions are nonsense now in his mind because of his father's comments. So now he's not going to ask questions. And that's the biggest killer, he said, A child has to ask questions. The whole Torah is full of questions. There's no way how to grow in life without questions. And that's what the Bala Gada says, At Psachla, a Lashon Nekeva. It should be like a Lashon Nekeva, like a mother. Open him back up and make him ask it again. We see from here such a powerful thing. We have to allow ourselves to ask questions. The only way a person can grow in Yiddishkeit is by asking questions. And when we have questions and someone doesn't have the answer, there's another person, or Hashem is going to give you the answer. And how many times I had a question in Mishnayos, in Pirkei Avos. There's so many interesting things there. Like the Mishnah says, he should be like the Talmidim from Aharon, Oiv Shalom, V'roidev Shalom. You should run after peace and love peace, and you should love the Briyos. Umekarve Torah, and you should bring them closer to the Torah. So I asked the question, what does the third part of the Mishnah have to do with the whole Mishnah? It's talking about be kind to other people, be nice to other people, run after peace for other people. So what does that have to do with Mekarve Torah? I was bothered by it, and I was willing to ask this question. I allowed myself to ask a question. And I asked the question to some people, and no one knew the answer, because people don't think, because they're scared to think. Because if you think, you have questions. You have to think, you have to ask questions. And before I knew it, after a few minutes of thinking, I had the answer. It's a very simple answer. The only way how to bring a person back to Yiddishkeit, back to Torah, is through making peace with other people, and being nice to other people, love other people. This teenager on the street, he's far from Yiddishkeit. He hates Judaism already because all of the nonsense that went through his life. And then someone comes over to him and tells him, Chaim, come learn a little bit Torah. Put on tefillin. He said, like, why exactly should I put on tefillin? But if someone comes over to him and says, Chaim, how's your job? Do you enjoy life? Do you enjoy yourself? What's your hobbies? What do you enjoy in your life? Be close to him, be nice to him, love him, show him some love. And before you know it, this Chaim is going to ask you, where could I put on tefillin? Because he sees that a person who puts on tefillin every day, a person who keeps Shabbos, a person who is Jewish, cares about him, he's going to want to be again the same Jewish person as that person. So through doing those beautiful things of actions, of kindness to other people, that will bring other people to Torah. But again, all these different ideas, what comes up in simple Mishnayos and simple Chumash Rashi, you have to allow yourself to ask questions. If you don't allow yourself to ask questions, then you have questions. And then things don't make sense because you never got the opportunity to ask questions. And then when things don't make sense, so why should I do things that don't make sense or make sense? So a person gets lost and he's totally all over the place and he's not living in reality again. And a person who doesn't live in reality will find a fake world to live in, and that fake world offers a lot of nonsense. And then we tell him, oh, don't do this nonsense, don't smoke weed. Why in the world shouldn't he smoke weed? Why in the world shouldn't he get drugged up? He doesn't have any other life. His only life, what he has, is nothing. So if he fills himself up with nonsense, we should give him the tools to fill himself up with something healthy, something good. Yes, so that's what Yiddishkeit is all about. The true Yiddishkeit and the true Shmiras and all that. Everything comes back to what's the real true life of a person. The true life of a person is to fulfill himself with happiness. How can you find happiness? Everyone has his own happiness. What you can find. This guy enjoys music, even though he doesn't know how to play music, but he enjoys music. He wants to play music. So give him the right tools. Give him music classes. Make him feel good about himself. And that will build him in Yiddishkeit. But if you close him, you put him behind bars, and you could try to control him, you should be this, you should be that, that won't work. It works momentarily, for a little bit, until the child says, I can't anymore. I have too many questions. And again, those kids who don't think at all, then it works. But those who think, ask questions. And if they don't have the answers, and if they get shut down by asking the questions, then they're a lost case. Everything involved in Menschlichkeit has to do with Yiddishkeit. If a person is not involved in Menschlichkeit, then he will fall away from Yiddishkeit. So it's so important for a person to know himself and know who he is and grow what he is and not what someone else is. Reish Chacham Yiras Hashem. My wisdom is myself and Hashem, no one else. You know, there's a beautiful Mishnah. It's a beautiful songs on it, but what's the true meaning behind it? So let me tell you. There is a me and there is a ma. Me is who and ma is what. So, someone has to be Moishain. Who is going to be Moishain? There's a Moishain, there's a Chaim, whatever, Yoeli, there's a David. Everybody has to be a something. So, Mo'ani. Who am I? Who am I? And the answer is Moishain. I am who I am. I'm not David, I'm not Chaim, I'm not Yoeli. I am Moishi. And no one can be Moishi besides me. And no one can be Chaim besides Chaim. So after knowing that I am Moishi, the next step is, what am I? Mo'ani. What am I? There's Mili, who am I? There's Mo'ani, what am I? Oh, I am a father of kids. I am a good person. I am a person who has those talents, whatever it is. And I have to do what I am. If not now, then when else will this Moishi be this Moishi? It's so powerful. We have to start living for ourselves. Regardless of what other people think about us or do, we have to do what's right. And when we do what's right, what we understand is right, avada through the Torah, then it'll be so much easier to live a peaceful life without all this crazy world outside, this lustful world outside. Because I can start living for myself. I don't have to live for another person. Me living for another person is just like me living in my crazy world out there in Paris, in my imagination. We have to start living for ourselves and know what we want, what we need, and when we have that, we will start living a true Torah life. The Torah wants us to be happy. Hashem wants us to be happy. He's our Father. He cares about us. One more topic I want to talk about, very short. Our children. Our children, my son, my daughter, they're also children of Hashem, just like I am a child of Hashem. So who am I to control them? I can't control my neighbor, just like my neighbor can't control me. I can't control my child, because he's also a child of Hashem. My job as a father is to be a dogma, to be a role model, and to be an example for my child. And that's it. Yes, I have to tell my points, my view in life, because I have enjoyment of a life, so I want him to have the same enjoyment as me. But I can't control him, I can't make him do things. I can tell him things, I can't make him do things. No person had any success by controlling someone else. Never, ever, ever. No one had any control over another person ever since the first day Hashem created the world until now. We think we have control over others, but we don't. Hashem controls us, and we can barely control ourselves. We have to ask Hashem, please give me the tools to control myself. So who are we to control others? We just have to be a role model and show them our happiness, what we have, and they would want our happiness when they see our true happiness. I hope you got the message, understand what I'm trying to bring out. My main point is, live a true life for yourself and don't look for the fake world out there, because when you have the fake world out there, then you won't live a true life for yourself.